Welcome to the overview video for UFC Noche. In this video we'll go over all the winner picks and method of victory predictions that have been made by the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube for every fight on this card. And we start at the bottom of the card for the first fight of this night between Rodrigo Sezinando and Daniil Donchenko in the welterweight division. The favorite in this fight is Daniil Donchenko with average odds of minus 210 and the underdog is Rodrigo Sezinando with plus 170. Donchenko is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 76% and most are predicting he will win this fight by a KO or TKO. And we see the same kind of results in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 50 out of 67 channels pick him to win for 75%. The best predictors over the last 8 months pick him 7 out of 8 for 87.5%. And the best predictors on favorite fighters in odds pick him 5 out of 7. And the underdog, Rodrigo Sezinando, is picked by the best underdog predictors 3 out of 8. As a quick recap, the best predictors are highlighted in green. Dark green had the highest return on investment and the lighter green slightly lower return on investment. And the best favorite predictors have the highest return on investment with their picks only on favorite fighters in odds. And the best underdog predictors have the highest return on investment with their picks on underdog fighters in odds. For more information about the best predictors and the best favorite and underdog predictors, check out the 8 months results video. By which method of victory are the YouTube prediction channels predicting each fighter to win? We have 3 channels predicting a KO TKO win for Sezinando and a total of 27 out of 40 for Donchenko. We have 2 channels going with a submission win for Sezinando and we have 4 channels predicting a decision win for each fighter. The second fight of the night is in the women's bantamweight division between Montse Rendon and Pereira. The favorite fighter in odds is Pereira with minus 150. And the underdog is Montse Rendon with plus 120. Although Pereira is not such a big favorite in average odds, she is a pretty big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 86% and most are expecting that she will win this fight via decision. She's also the favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, although not so big. 53 out of 71 channels pick her to win for 75%. The best predictors pick her 6 out of 8 and the best favorite predictors 5 out of 7. And the underdog Montse Rendon is picked by the best underdog predictors only 2 out of 8. For method of victory predictions we have 6 channels picking Pereira to win by a KO or TKO. But the rest of the channels all expect that this fight will go to the scorecards. 8 are picking Rendon to win by a decision and 24 are picking Pereira to win by decision. For the next fight we go to the flyweight division for a fight between Alessandro Costa and Alden Coria. Alessandro Costa is a huge favorite in average odds with minus 420. And Alden Coria is a big underdog with plus 325. Also in picks by the Tapology Community, Costa is a huge favorite with 92% and most are predicting he will win this fight via decision. And he's a slightly bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 64 out of 68 channels pick him to win for 94%. All but one of the best predictors also pick Costa to win for 6 out of 7 and the best favorite predictors have him 7 out of 7 for 100%. And only 1 out of 7 of the best underdog predictors go with the big underdog Alden Coria. For the method of victory predictions we have 13 channels out of 40 picking Costa to win by a KO or TKO, 5 have him winning via submission, but most of them, 20 out of 40, pick him to win via decision. And we have 2 channels picking the big underdog Coria to win via decision. Up next we have Zachary Reese versus Cedric Dumas in the middleweight division. The favorite fighter in odds is Zachary Reese with minus 245 and with plus 200 Dumas the underdog. And Reese is the big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 87%. Most are predicting he will win via KO or TKO. And he's also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 64 out of 72 pick him to win for 89%. The best predictors over the last 8 months all pick Zachary Reese to win for 8 out of 8. And also the best favorite and underdog predictors all pick him to win for 7 out of 7 and 8 out of 8. For the method of victory predictions we have 28 out of 39 channels or 72% going with a KO or TKO win for Zachary Reese and 4 channels for Dumas. 4 channels predict a submission win for Reese and we have 3 channels predicting a decision win for him. The next fight is in the flyweight division between Jesus Aguilar and Gurule. Gurule is the favorite with minus 225 in average odds and with plus 185 Jesus Aguilar the underdog. Although Jesus is the underdog in odds, he is the favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 72%, and most are predicting he will win by a decision. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, this fight is basically even. Jesus is picked by 35 channels and Gurule is picked by 36 channels, so only by one channel more. And also in picks by the best predictors over the last 8 months, it's 50-50, 4 out of 8 for each fighter. The favorite fighter in odds, Gurule, is picked by the best favorite predictors 3 out of 7, and the underdog, Jesus Aguilar, is only picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 8. So for this fight, the picks and odds are kind of all over the place. What about the method of victory predictions? For a KO or TKO win, you have 5 channels going with Aguilar, and 10 channels are predicting him to win via submission. And for a decision win, we have 8 channels going with Aguilar, and we have a total of 20 out of 33 channels picking Gurule to win via decision. For the next fight, we go to the women's strawweight division for a fight between Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos. And Tatiana Suarez is a huge favorite with minus 470 in average odds, and with plus 355, Amanda Lemos is the underdog. 93% of the Tapology community picked the big favorite Tatiana Suarez to win. A bit more than half of them go with a decision win and the rest for a submission win. She's also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels with 63 out of 70 for 90%. The best predictors pick her 5 out of 7 for 71%, and the best predictors on favorite fighters have her 6 out of 7. But when we look at the best underdog predictors, we see something interesting. 4 out of 8 go with the big underdog Amanda Lemos, seeing value in her. For method of victory predictions, we have one channel going with a KO or TKO win for both fighters. For a submission win, we have 19 out of 43 channels picking Suarez to win and 0 for Lemos. And for a decision win, 18 go with Suarez and 4 for Lemos. The next fight is in the lightweight division between Claudio Puelles and Joaquim Silva. In odds, this fight is basically even, with minus 112 for Claudio and minus 108 for Joaquim. But it's not even in picks by the Tapology community, and 64% go with Puelles to win, and most are predicting he will win this fight via decision. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, this fight is almost even. Claudio Puelles is the slight favorite with 37 out of 71 for 52%, and Joaquim Silva is picked by 34 channels for 48%. And also the best predictors over the last 8 months are 50-50 on this fight, with 4 out of 8 for each fighter. The best favorite predictors pick Claudio Puelles 5 out of 7, and the best underdog predictors also have it 50-50 with 4 out of 8 for each fighter. But because this fight is so close in odds, we can kind of ignore the best favorite and underdog predictor picks. For the method of victory prediction, we have 9 channels picking Silva to win by a KO or TKO. We have 9 channels picking Puelles to win via submission, and for a decision win, we have 14 channels going with Puelles and 8 channels going with Silva. For the next fight, we go to the middleweight division for a fight between Daniil Medina and Dusko Todorovic. And Todorovic is a huge favorite with minus 380 in average odds, and with plus 290, Medina the underdog. Todorovic is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 86%, and they're kinda split on his method of victory between a KO or TKO or a decision. He's also a huge favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels with 63 out of 70 for 90%. The best favorite predictors pick him to win 6 out of 7, the best favorite predictors have it 6 out of 7 as well, and the underdog Medina is picked by the best underdog predictors only 1 out of 8, so not a lot of faith in this underdog. When we look at the method of victory predictions, we have 18 channels out of 42 picking Todorovic to win via KO or TKO, 2 pick him to win via submission, and 19 channels pick him to win via decision. And for Medina, we have 3 channels that pick him to win via decision. The future prelim is in the lightweight division between Alexander Hernandez and Diego Ferreira. And in this fight, the odds are exactly even with minus 110 for both fighters. In picks by the Tapology community, Hernandez is the favorite with 61%, and most are predicting he will win via decision. But it's a lot closer in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. Diego Ferreira is a slight favorite with 39 out of 75 for 52%, and Alexander Hernandez is picked by 36 channels, so 3 less. In picks by the best predictors over the last 8 months, Diego Ferreira is a slight favorite with 5 out of 8. And because this fight is so close in odds, we can kind of ignore the best favorite and underdog predictors, but we see something interesting. The best predictors on favorite fighters and odds go with Alexander Hernandez 5 out of 7, making him a pretty big favorite. But the best underdog predictors, most of them go with Diego Ferreira with 7 out of 8. For the method of victory predictions, we have 11 channels picking Hernandez to win by a KO or TKO and 5 channels pick Ferreira to win via KO or TKO. None of them are picked to win via submission, and for a decision win, both of them are picked 14 times each. Opening up the main card, we have a fight in the bantamweight division between Santiago Luna and Quang Le. In odds, this fight is pretty close. Santiago Luna is the slight favorite with minus 135 and Quang Le the underdog with plus 115. In picks by the Tapology Community, this fight is also very close. Luna is the slight favorite with 52% and most are predicting he will win on the scorecard. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, it's also very close, but Quang Le is the slight favorite with 37 out of 72 for 51.4% and Santiago Luna is picked by 35 channels, so only 2 less. Quang Le is also the small favorite in picks by the best predictors over the last 8 months with 5 out of 8. And the best favorite predictors go with the favorite fighter in odds, Santiago Luna 2 out of 7, and the best underdog predictors go with the underdog Quang Le 5 out of 7, so most of them trust this underdog, although he is a small one. And for method of victory, we have 5 channels picking Luna to win by a KO or TKO and 1 for Le. For submission win, we have 5 for Luna and 3 for Le. And for a decision win, 9 channels pick Luna to win and 14 for Le. For the next one, we go to the middleweight division for a fight between Kelvin Gastelum and Dustin Stoltzfus. Kelvin Gastelum is the favorite with minus 255 and with plus 205 Dustin Stoltzfus the underdog. Most of the Tapology community pick Kelvin Gastelum to win with 86% and most expect he will win on the scorecards. He's also the favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, although not such a big one. 55 out of 72 pick him to win for 76%. But he's a much bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors and all of them pick him to win for 7 out of 7. And also the best predictors on favorite fighters and odds all pick him to win 7 out of 7. And the underdog Dustin Stoltzfus is picked by the best underdog predictors only 1 out of 8. So not a lot of faith in this underdog. We have 8 channels picking Gastelum to win via KO or TKO and 1 channel picked Stoltzfus to win via KO or TKO. We have 2 channels predicting a submission win for Stoltzfus, but most of the channels are predicting that this fight will go to the scorecards, and 24 predict Gastelum will win and 6 for Stoltzfus. The next fight is in the lightweight division between Rafa Garcia and Jared Gordon. And with minus 245, Jared Gordon is a pretty big favorite, and Garcia the underdog with plus 200. Gordon is also a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 89% and most are expecting he will win this fight on the scorecard. And we see the same results in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 67 out of 75 pick him to win, also for 89%. And all of the best predictors pick him to win with 8 out of 8. And the same with the best favorite predictors with 7 out of 7 and the best underdog predictors with 8 out of 8. And for the method of victory predictions, we have 1 channel predicting Garcia to win by a KO or TKO and 12 for Gordon. No one is predicting a submission win. For a decision win, we have 5 channels going with Garcia, but most of the channels pick Gordon to win via decision with 29 out of 47 for 62%. For the co-main event of the evening, we have a fight in the bantamweight division between Rob Font and David Martinez. The slight favorite is Rob Font with minus 135 in average odds and with plus 110 David Martinez the slight underdog. Although Rob Font is not such a big favorite in average odds, he is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 78% and most are expecting he will win this fight on the scorecards. But he's not such a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 48 out of 73 pick him to win for 66%. And in picks by the best predictors, it's even. And both fighters are picked 4 out of 8 for 50%. And in picks by the best favorite predictors, the favorite Rob Font is now the underdog with 3 out of 7. So it keeps getting worse for him in picks. And the underdog David Martinez is picked by the best underdog predictors 4 out of 8 for 50%. So overall, Rob Font is a pretty big favorite when we look at the picks from the Tapology community and the YouTube Prediction Channels. But when we look at the best predictors, it's kinda 50-50. For the method of victory predictions, we have 1 channel picking Rob Font to win by a KO or TKO and 4 picking Martinez to win by KO or TKO. No one is predicting a fighter to win via submission and most of the channels are predicting a decision win, with 27 out of 44 for Rob Font and 12 out of 44 for David Martinez. And then, for the main event of the evening, we have a fight in the featherweight division between Diego Lopes and Jan Silva. Jan Silva is the favorite with minus 235 in average odds, and with plus 190, Diego Lopes the underdog. Jan Silva is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 70%, and most are predicting he will win by KO or TKO. And he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 63 out of 76 are predicting he will win for 83%. And he's also a big favorite in picks by the best predictors with 7 out of 8, and the best favorite predictors pick him 6 out of 7. And the underdog, Diego Lopes, is picked by the best underdog predictors 0 times. So for now, none of them have faith in this underdog. But over the coming days, more picks are coming in from the best predictors. So things might look better or worse for both fighters. If you want to stay up to date with the latest picks and method of victory predictions over the coming days while supporting the channel, consider becoming a member on Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon, where I give daily updates for all the fights on this card with the latest picks and method of victory predictions. Links can be found in the video description. And speaking of method of victory predictions, we have 4 channels predicting a KO or TKO win for Diego Lopes. But most of the channels have predicted a KO or TKO win for Jan Silva with 29 out of 41 for 71%. One channel predicts a submission win for Lopes, and for a decision win we have 2 for Lopes and a total of 5 for Jan Silva. For potential good betting opportunities, I found the following 4 fights. And 2 of them are basically the same in odds and in picks, so let's start with those 2. We have Zachary Reese with minus 245, and he's picked 100% by the best predictors and the best favorite and underdog predictors 8 out of 8, 7 out of 7 and 8 out of 8. And with the exact same results we have Jared Gordon, also minus 245 in average odds, and also picked by the best predictors 8 out of 8, the best favorite predictors 7 out of 7 and the best underdog predictors 8 out of 8. So everything exactly the same. And with almost the same stats, we have Kelvin Gastelum with minus 255, and he's picked by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors 7 out of 7. So for all 3 of these fighters, they have to win just over 70% to break even with your moneyline bet. So it's probably better to also go with a method of victory prediction. For Zach Reese to win by a KO or TKO win is picked by 72% of the channels and gives you odds of plus 135, which is much better than the minus 245 moneyline odds. A decision win by Jared Gordon gives you odds of minus 145 and is picked by 29 out of 47 channels for 62%, which gives you better odds than minus 245 moneyline odds. And the decision win for Gastelum has odds of plus 140 and is picked by 24 out of 41 channels for 58%, which is a lot better than the minus 255 moneyline odds. But out of those 3 method of victory bets, probably the best one is a KO TKO win for Zach Reese, which is picked by 72% of the channels and gives you good odds of plus 135. And for the last good potential betting opportunity, we have an underdog in Quang Lee. He's only a small underdog with plus 115, but is picked by the best predictors 5 out of 8 and by the best underdog predictors 5 out of 7. So what are your favorite betting opportunities for this card? Let us know in the comments. That was it for all the picks and method of victory predictions for UFC Noche. Hope you all enjoyed it and found it informative or helpful. If you did, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, have a great weekend and enjoy the fights.